Hey, what's up, neighbors? Welcome to the Big Idea Camp weekly lesson video. And what are we doing today? We are kicking off a new month, so we're going to learn a new value that's going to help us reach our potential, become the people we're supposed to be. Now, every week we come together and we learn about values, and values are things that can start inside of us, become a habit that can change the world around us when we put it into use in our day-to-day life. And this year, I'll be honest, looking back over the last 12 months, this year has been challenging to say the least. We've gone through the COVID pandemic, and just recently in the month of February, we've gone through the ice storm. Matter of fact, I just got power a couple days ago. We went without power for over 12 days. It wasn't easy. It was hard, to be honest, but we're back. And now we're getting ready to launch this new month of March. I'm excited to introduce to you the new value that we're going to be talking about for this month. Let's look at it together. Patience. Patience, waiting until later for what you want now. Patience may be one of the most difficult values that we are going to learn. Patience is going to be one of the most difficult values that we are going to use in our life. It is not easy. I was just put through it. For 12 days, I had to be patient, waiting for Kentucky Power and AEP to bring back the power to my house. My house got to 36 degrees. It was cold in my house. I saw my breath. We had to find family to stay with. I've got a 3-year-old son and an 8-year-old son. We had to find places to stay so we could stay warm and have electricity. It was not easy, and I'm going to be honest, I was not patient all the time. Matter of fact, over the process, I got over 40 emails from Kentucky Power that said, your service is restored. Just kidding. No, it's not. It's going to be restored. Wait, it's restored. And it wasn't. It took, 13 days for it to be restored. But I remember that hope that I got when I got that email that says, hey, your service is restored. Woohoo! And I would text message my neighbors, hey, do we have heat? No. It was hard to be patient. Patient is not easy. It's easy to get excited about something. It's easy to look forward to something, but patience is waiting for later for what you want now. I wanted heat. I wanted to sleep in my bed, but it just didn't happen for a dozen nights. But that's okay. That's okay. Things got back to normal. We just have to be patient. And so this month we're going to talk about patience, and I want you to remember, I want you to really hear this definition, waiting until later for what you want now. And next week we're going to go over this slide, but we're going to be talking about this spider. I don't like spiders. Matter of fact, I don't know if I need to be patient for next week or not. I don't want to be patient. I don't like spiders. The only spiders that I like are the spiders that are on the bottom of my shoe, but we're going to learn about spiders next week. But we're going to learn a lot more about patience this week, so don't just take it from me. Let's kick it over to Sam and learn more about patience.
Have you ever seen one of these? It's called a map. Instead of using phones with GPS in them when I was a kid, which I know was a long time ago, this is what we used to figure out where we were going. Listen, I remember going on trips in the car. One person would drive, one person would use the map to navigate, and I had a very special role. I would sit in the back seat with no DVD player or iPad, and I would ask the question over and over and over and over again. Are we there yet? The classic question that every kid asks and every parent hates. I had a couple of other questions too I was really good at as well. Is dinner ready yet? Can I open this present early? All of which were followed by, here it is, it's classic, please. I know you felt it because I felt it. Here's why I'm good at those questions. Sometimes it is really hard to wait, right? It's just hard to wait. It's hard to wait when we're bored or hungry or really, really want something bad. But patience is one of the most important things you can practice as a kid. It's a skill you'll need for your whole life. There's even research that says that kids who can wait for things become more successful adults. It's a big deal. Learning patience isn't just about not annoying your mom or your teacher by being whiny. Patience is waiting until later for what you want now. Come on, let's all say it. Patience is waiting until later for what you want now. We'll see you next month. Be patient.
You know, it's funny, when I think about patience, I think about being younger. I think about being in elementary school, and I remember my family taking trips. I remember one specific trip. It wasn't a very far trip to go. It was only to Cincinnati to go to a Reds game and to Kings Island. But I remember, this is back in the day, there were no cell phones. There was no Google. There was no internet. I know you guys are like, what? Yeah, there was no internet. So we used that thing called a map. And I remember, even though, for me, it's easy to get to Cincinnati, but I don't know why it was different there. But I remember my dad driving and my mom being in the passenger seat. And I remember my mom having the map. And for some reason, at some point of this trip, there is this bridge that is in between Covington, Kentucky, and Cincinnati, Ohio, like Newport and Cincinnati. Matter of fact, the baseball stadium at the time was Riverfront Stadium. It wasn't even this one. This is Great American Ballpark's new. But I remember this Riverfront's on the other side, but I don't know how we did it. I don't know what misdirection we took, but at some point we crossed the bridge 7 times. 7 times. And we were getting late to get to the ball game. I remember we were going to get there early and oh, look, there's the stadium. We're all there went the stadium. But there it is again. I remember watching the first inning from the bridge. We were in traffic and we just took wrong turns. I wasn't very patient, and I remember the words that my dad may have used to tell me to hush and not so polite. Or anyway, I wanted to get to the ball game, but I remember it didn't work that way. But I remember using these words, and maybe you've used these words. Are we there yet? Ever use those words? Ever been on the way to get somewhere and you were such in a rush to get there that you weren't enjoying the journey, right? So you use the words, are we there yet? And you know the answer is no. If you're still in the car and you're driving, you are not there yet, but you're on the way. And I think that's a fun part about life. Sometimes the best part is not here or here, the destination. Sometimes the best part of life is somewhere in between, when you're on the way, when you're not there yet, but you're going there. And that's when patience kicks in. So let's look at this week's worksheet. Again, I want you to know patience is waiting until later for what you want now. You may want to be there, but you're on your way. Be patient while you get there. Think about this quote for 1 minute. Have patience with all things, but chiefly have patience with yourself. We're all growing. We're all getting there. We're all going from here to there, wherever there may be. We're on the way to there. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. And sometimes being patient with yourself means to forgive yourself. You're going to make mistakes. Be patient with yourself. Don't judge yourself so harshly that you can't forgive yourself. So I want you to repeat the big idea in front of a mirror. Raise your eyebrows when you say, am I ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Patience, waiting until later for what you want now. When do you think it's hard to be patient? When is it difficult? Maybe when you're waiting for electricity. Maybe when you see the Christmas presents under the tree and all you want to do is rip them up and open them and play with your toys. Maybe when you're in the car and you're going somewhere. When it's hard to be patient, it is. Maybe when you're waiting for someone to come to your house, or maybe when you're playing a video game, you're waiting for your friends to come on and play with you. When is it difficult? So I want you to draw a picture waiting in line. Where are you? Maybe waiting in line for a roller coaster. That's hard. You're like, you hear everybody, whee, and you're like, I want to be. It's hard to be patient. Finally, how do you feel today? That's very important to me. I think it's very, very, very important that we can take a moment and really think about where we are, think about how we're feeling, and be able to describe it. Happy, tired, angry, sad, sick, frustrated, annoyed, calm, scared, worried, proud, or other. And here's the best kicker about this. It's a beautiful thing. There's not a wrong answer. You can be any of those, and that's okay. It's totally fine. I feel those feelings often. Every one of those feelings. Been there. Maybe recently. Matter of fact, when our power was out, I was scared. I was worried. I was annoyed. I was frustrated. I was angry. I was tired. I wanted to go home. I felt like a failure as a dad. I couldn't give my sons their rooms because it was too cold. There was no electric. I felt bad, even though it was out of my control. I'm not an electric. I don't work for the power company, so I had to have patience. I had to wait for later for what I wanted in that moment, and you can too. Hey, one of my hero, Mr. Rogers, Mr. Fred Rogers, would always. He would talk about patience, and he would talk about being calm, and he talks about the way that we treat ourselves. And I think it's okay to forgive yourself. And he would be very clear that finding our true self is a lifelong journey, but the reward is worth it. And I want you to know that it takes time to get where we're going. It's going to take a while for you to get to be who you're supposed to be in this life, but guess what? That's okay. Forgive yourself, be patient, and know that we're all growing. Matter of fact, if we know that we're growing, then we can also understand that everyone else is growing too. Everybody is not there yet. We're not there yet. Nobody is there yet, but we're on the way. And it's a beautiful thing to be on the way. Hey guys, listen, I want you to know, during these hard times, if you need help with some homework, if you're frustrated and just things aren't adding up, your NTI, your virtual learning, or just your day-to-day stuff, maybe you're backing class down, that's a beautiful thing. Our friends at Clark's Puppet Shop has opened up this program for everybody. If you need help, email us, and we are going to do our best to help you with your homework. Hey, hope you have a great week. I'm so proud of you. Listen, I know it's crazy to say this, but I hope you have an opportunity to be patient this week. And that sometimes doesn't feel like a blessing. Like, Jeremy, don't make me be in a position where I need to be patient. It's hard, but it gives us a chance to grow. So I want you to have an opportunity to grow this week, even if it means you have to be patient. Because being patient now is going to help you be patient later. And it's going to only make your life and everyone else's life around you better. So practice patience. It's important. And I'm proud of you for growing in that way. Guys, I hope you have an incredible week. Looking forward to seeing you next week. We're going to learn about that spider and why a spider's patient. I don't know about that. Anyway, see you next week. Love you guys. Have a great week.